Part 4. I'm really tired. Emilia thought that she was used to talking with Subaru, but it was no surprise that dealing with 3 Subarus was still a tad too much for her. She felt bad about it, but she'd given up on the tea party quickly and exited the forest alone. Fortunately, it was only a short walk from the venue of Subaru's mad tea party to the exit of the forest, and when she bathed in the sunlight for the first time in several hours, her body and mind felt refreshed. And there's a much more reassuring landmark than before. The thing that Emilia headed for without hesitation after exiting the forest was a tall building in front of her. As far as she knew, it was identical to the royal castle she'd seen in the royal capital, Lagunica. It's a castle, so someone reliable must be in there. Emilia was no longer thinking about how she fell into a hole and how odd it was for there to be a castle here anymore. All she had on her mind was a desire to do something she couldn't quite put her finger on, and a motherly instinct to spank Puck. I've arrived. All right, I need to talk to someone. Emilia reached the castle and looked around, searching for people, without noticing how strange it was for the castle to be surrounded by a garden of blooming flowers. And then... The trial! The trial is going to begin! She bumped into a cat who was crossing the flower bed, shouting loudly. Puck, who had been missing since he hit the window, appeared, and just like that, he ran into the castle without noticing her. You did it again, Puck! And a trial. Jeez, this is no time to be playing around. Emilia puffed her cheeks at Puck for ignoring her, then entered the castle as well. The white light that spread out in front of her made her shield her eyes as soon as she went inside. She timidly removed her hand from her face, and the sight in front of her eyes was... So this is... the court? So is this... the court? It was a huge place. The ceiling was so high that it couldn't be seen, and it was surrounded by grandstands. The seats were all filled with the audience, and the surroundings were dominated by a noisy buzz. Off with her head! At the far end of the court was a pink-haired girl who passed down a cruel verdict. She was dressed as a maid as usual, but the hair ornament on her head had been replaced with a crown. It was Ram. Ram looked down at the witness stand with a cool face, and in front of her gaze was Beatrice, who had been tied up and thrown on the ground for some reason, screaming with a red face. Betty demands a retrial. In fact, this is tyranny of the state, I suppose. Betty has been framed. Off with her head. Is that all you can say, I suppose? Give me a break. Though Beatrice pleaded that she had been wrongly convicted, Ram didn't listen, and she was determined to execute her. A blue-haired girl was gently snuggled up next to Ram. The younger sister, Rem, touched the elder sister's shoulder and said, Hey, sister, maybe you should hear Miss Beatrice out a little. And if it's just about the pastry, then Rem will bake it again. What about Ram's feelings of looking forward to the pastry Rem had baked, but it got snatched away from Ram? There will be no end to this humiliation until the culprit's head is publicly displayed and her skull is made into a cup. What a treacherous thing to do just for a pastry! Beatrice screamed. You Oni! Devil! The demon king of the 6th heaven! The more abuses she hurled, the more crimes accumulated. Leste Majeste got added on top of it all, and the court's atmosphere made it seem like everyone had accepted that she'd be executed. Startled by the tension in the air, Emilia called out to wait. Wait! I think that's really cruel no matter what! Oh, so you're going to protect Betty, are you? You really are ignorant of your social standing, child, for you to be defying Queen Ram. Ha ha ha. Wait, is that Puck? Okay, wait. Oh, so you are going to protect Betty, are you? You really are ignorant of your social standing, child, for you to be defying Queen Ram. It was Puck who responded to Emilia's plea as if she were just some lightweight. Puck, a gavel in hand that made it seem like he was overseeing the trial, ordered Emilia to stand in the witness stand. I don't know what is being talked about, but Beatrice is not that much of a bad girl. It's too much to behead her. And what has happened to you, Ram? How dare this girl talk to Ram in such a familiar manner? But if what you are saying is true, then who else could have eaten Ram's pastry? Betty doesn't know who ate it. Wait. Betty doesn't know who ate it. But Betty can smell a faint aroma of sweets coming from this girl, I suppose. Betty can sense such things. Beatrice! Beatrice, laying all tied up on the floor, sold Emilia, standing in the witness stand in her defense, out. And in reality, Emilia was aware that she had eaten a pastry. She wanted to plead that it was the one that Clinda's made, but she instantly felt a hostile shift in the court's atmosphere. Wait. I feel like I'm getting a really bad vibe here. Well, if this girl really is the culprit, then she should have just watched Miss Beatrice get... She would have just watched Miss Beatrice get beheaded, said Rem. But she came forward, which means that... her conscience couldn't take it? Aren't you going to look at it like I'm not the culprit? Emilia turned pale, thinking that she would be presumed guilty at this rate. But once again, it was the gentle younger sister who stood by her ruthless elder sister's side who extended a helping hand to the miserable defendant. Sister, there's no way she could be the culprit no matter what. Is that so? If Rem says so, then it may be right. Rem seemed like she was ready to admit that she had been out of line with Rem's intervention. Emilia calmed her heart somehow, thinking that she had gotten out of trouble. And then... That's right, Cheshire Baru exclaimed. Saying that Emilia Ton is the culprit is a false accusation no matter what. Cute is justice, shouted Hatter Subaru. Pretty girls are a treasure. Emilia Ton is my waifu. Let's scare Biko to tears while we're at it, March Subaru added. We need to push her to the brink of despair. A series of noisy voices came from the grandstands, and everyone's gaze turned in that direction. As expected, the ones being noisy were the three consecutive stars, Cat Ear, Harrier, and Hat Subaru. It seemed like the tea party had ended. Subarus, are you acquainted with the lady here? Ram said to the three Subarus, who were next to each other. The three of them flashed their teeth and spoke. Yeah, we know her, said Cheshire Baru. We had a tea party together, said Hatter Subaru. I'd say we have a deep relationship, said March Subaru. I see, Rem said, nodding in satisfaction after hearing the three Subarus' replies. Then she gazed at Emilia and smiled in an enchanting, adoring manner. Let's behead her. What? All right, off with her head. Wait a second. Hey, isn't this strange? What happened all of a sudden? Emilia panicked and pleaded, but neither Queen Ram nor Minister Ram had any intention of listening. The door to the court opened with a loud bang, and in came a large group of pucks, dressed as soldiers. A lot of pucks came rushing in. To her left, right, and every such direction were pucks. Huh? Cute! Huh? Cute? Emilia felt happiness and fear at the same time as she was surrounded by pucks dressed in armor, as gardeners, or in a weird card outfit. Subaru! Why did it turn out like this? Cheshire Brew wondered. Someone, please get to the bottom of this. That is our only wish. Gosh, Subaru, you idiot! The three Subarus giggled. Emilia helplessly got engulfed by a group of pucks charging into her while watching the three Subarus stick out their tongues.